evening, and welcome to the dedication of the Susan L. Hudak Auditorium at Linden High School. I apologize in advance if you thought you were going to be sitting in the air conditioning. This is where all the action is happening tonight. It's truly my honor to be here tonight as a superintendent, representing the board, although several board members will speak tonight, to bestow this honor upon Susan Hudak's memory and her family. And I'd like to welcome all of you and also note the many dignitaries that we have here tonight. And it's just a testament to who Sue was to so many people, the fact that so many of you are here tonight. So I'd like to recognize some of you. I apologize in advance if I miss you. And this is not in order of importance. Okay, maybe it is. The Linden Board of Education. They're my boss, right? But it's really nice, of course, our guests of honor, Mr. John Hudak and his entire family are here. We'd like to welcome them. Mr. Hudak, the Honorable Judge Hudak, not tonight, Mr. Hudak is going to be saying a few words later, and he's going to be introducing his family members. We also have several county freeholders here. I'm not sure why they would be here. I saw County Freeholder Mirabella is here. County Freeholder Vanell Wright is here. Our esteemed Mayor Derek Armstead is here. Mayor, thank you for being here. City Council President George Alvarez. Councilman Sadowski, Javik are here tonight. Thank you. Councilwomen Hickey and Cosby Hurling are here tonight. Thank you. And we have several honorable judges here with us tonight. Judge Shiroka, Judge Wilson, Judge Rodriguez, Judge Wichusen, and Judge Healy. Apologize if I missed anyone, but I know you're not here tonight to hear your name or to be recognized. We're all here tonight for one reason, and that one reason is that Susan Hudak left a mark on the city of Linden that tonight will be forever enshrined here in the Linden High School auditorium. So welcome. At this time, I'd like to turn it over to our Board of Education President, Mr. John Collins.
Good evening, everybody. I've been on the board with Sue for almost 4 years, but I've known her a lot longer. And the one thing I could honestly say about her, she's all about kids. Yes. And that was her whole life. That's what she did. No matter where I went, she was there. Even when I didn't expect to see her, she was there. She went everywhere. And she didn't do it just to be recognized. She did it because she actually had a calling to go to these children and to the schools and to help out and to do things. And I remember when I was principal of School 6, she, even though her children didn't go there, she went there all the time to say hi. It was like her adopted place or adopted school. We had our science nights, as Mrs. Schleicher will remember. Okay, and she was there helping out all the time, even though it was years since she had been there. This was just the way she was. And I could speak in superlatives all evening about her, and it still wouldn't be enough. What we'll see on the wall today is testimony of the fact that we had a great person here. But it's going to be her memory that's going to be the most important thing, and that we'll never forget. So I, at this time, would like to turn the program over to Mr. Topoleski, who is a very good friend of hers, a colleague of hers for many years on the board.
Thank you. When Sue first passed away, one of the first things that I did when we got together was to go to Superintendent Robertosi and say, we need to do something to honor Sue. Back in 2014, the board developed a policy about naming things after people and stuff like that. And it was a very high standard that we set. We didn't want just anybody to have something named after you because they were friends with a couple of board members. So we had the whole committee had to be formed. A request had to be put in writing. A whole bunch of things. Well, we did that. Some other board members felt the same way with me, so I knew we were on the right path. So at this point, I want to just thank, some are here, some are not, the members of the committee. I served as chairman. I was very lucky that I did that. Cindy Oplinsky was, and Beth Schwartz represented teachers. Students Jacqueline Fitzula and Leonard Joe Trejos were students. One of the reasons we included students was when this first happened and the kids found out, they wanted to do something. And they wanted to be included. And so we included them on the committee. And administrators were represented by Chris Colobus and Danny Robertosi. So that was the committee. We sat down and we knocked around ideas. And I had some ideas I thought would be great and stuff like that. And the first board meeting that we had after Sue's passing, her chair was empty and there was a bouquet and a candle lit at her chair. And Assistant Superintendent Denise Cleary sat there thinking, because we're just, what are we going to do? We need to do something. What are we going to do? My initial thought was the Professional Development Center, which is the old library in Sunnyside. And that would have been all right, but only the teachers would have known about it because it was professional development. And at the end of the meeting, I don't know whether Denise came to me or somebody told her to come to me and say, because of the committee, why don't we name the auditorium after her? She spent more time here at board meetings, at concerts, at plays, at award ceremonies. I made the joke earlier, I think she spent more time in school than I did, and I was a teacher. So that was it. We batted it around. The students still wanted, I think it was the National Honor Society, he still intends to plant a tree, and we're going to plant a tree in her honor over by the development center, the professional development center, because there's no trees over there, so it'll stand out like a sore thumb. Which Sue did. Sue stood out everywhere she went. Everybody knew Sue was there. She was a remarkable woman. We met, I can't even tell you the year. We met, our daughters were playing t-ball. They were on the same team. And then years went by, and we went to Saturday Science at Seoul. And I go walking in, and Sue comes running up to me, Coach Ray! Yes. I wasn't sure who she was, because the kids were that big, and now the kids are that big. And there's that difference. And again, you lose touch. And then I happened to run for the board, and Sue was already on the board. So we developed a friendship that lasted since 2000, where we served on the board together. And absolutely, I could never, ever accomplish what she did in the time. She was a class mother to schools she'd never had kids in. She baked cookies and cupcakes and everything for everyone. She just was that kind of woman. And that is a testament to why this is going to happen tonight. I have a few other things before we go any further I want to recognize. The first of which, I wear a different hat. I'm also the county president of the New Jersey School Boards, Union County. And there are different recognitions that the county gives. Sue achieved, I think it's Distinguished Board Member, I believe it was, which is after 20 credits of extended learning. But the funny thing about that was she did it accidentally. Because to her, school boards was okay, but this place was more important. our school was more important than any of the bigger organizations. So one of the things that they did was they started to recognize after 10 years experience. Now, you think about this, 10 years on the Board of Ed means that you were elected 4 times. All right? Sue would have hit 21, 20 next year. So this is in recognition. I want to thank Kathy Gaylord, who went out of her way to frame it. I'll show you how it comes. Well, it comes the pin and the card. And Kathy went through all this with framing and stuff like that to make it look special. So Sue achieved 20 years, well, what would have been 21 years on the Board of Ed. Secondly, Senator Scutari wanted to be here tonight. He's unable to make it. This is a resolution from the Senate and General Assembly, and I was asked to read this to you. It's by Senator Scutari and Assemblyman Green and Kennedy. Whereas the Senate and General Assembly of the State of New Jersey are pleased to join the Linden Board of Education in noting the dedication ceremony of the Susan L. Hudak Auditorium at Linden High School, which will take place on June 28th, 2017. And whereas the dedication of the auditorium honors the memory of Susan L. Hudak, a highly esteemed resident of the city of Linden, whose uncommon degree of devotion to her community will always be cherished by those who knew of her selfless endeavors. And whereas Susan L. Hudak, who passed from this life on January 29, 2017, demonstrated the high ideals of citizenship as a member of the Linden Board of Education, and the depth of her knowledge and breadth of her experience immeasurably contributed to the academic and social advancement of countless students. And whereas Susan L. Hudak inspired and effective civic efforts included in her outstanding tenure as a clerk for the city of Linden, and in addition to giving generously of her time and energy to numerous praiseworthy organizations, including several Linden Parent Teachers Association, she earned a sterling reputation as the founder of For Our Children, For Our Schools, an invaluable initiative created to benefit local youth. And whereas the dedication of Susan L. Hudak Auditorium represents the culmination of the extensive planning process which has been brought to fruition only through the heartfelt labors of a number of people whose commitment to the project stands as a testament to the legacy of Susan L. Hudak. And whereas it is altogether proper and fitting for the legislature to recognize the dedication of the Susan L. Hudak Auditorium and to affirm its importance to the people of Linden and Union County, now therefore be it resolved by the Senate and General Assembly of the State of New Jersey that this legislature hereby acknowledges the dedication of the Susan L. Hudak Auditorium on June 28, 2017, and pays tribute to the memory of Susan L. Hudak, and be it further resolved that a duly authorized copy of this resolution, signed by the Senate President and the Assembly Speaker, and attested by the Senate Secretary and the Assembly Clerk, be transmitted to the family of Susan L. Hudak. And it is signed by Senator Sweeney and Assemblyman Riddle. I could talk a long, long time of the things that transpired over the last 17 years on the Board of Ed, but I'm not going to because you're not here for that.
Oh boy.
Thank you, Mrs. Valani. Just in case you got away, thought you got away with it. So at this time, I believe.
Yeah, Mr. Tobolensky, at this time, we're going to ask Mr. John Hudak to come up and say a few words. But before that, to introduce all the Seuss family that's here tonight.
Thank everybody for coming. Appreciate it. We tonight, my son Christopher,
wife Terry, Jackson, who's busy throwing all the things around here, Katie, my daughter Megan, Bella, husband Ed, Anthony. My sisters, Joanne and Sharon, my brother-in-law Steve, my sister-in-law Debbie, my nephew Sammy, Kyle. I think I may have seen Amy somewhere coming. Yeah, I saw you got here. So most of the family's here. My other son is unable to come. He lives in Texas. He's moving to Ohio, and he's unable to come with his children. But he's also, we sent him a notice of it, and he's appreciative of it. Just want to thank everybody. If you knew my wife, you knew what came was first. Would come home, say we got to go to a dinner somewhere, be like, I can't go to the dinner because I have to go to this school. I'm like, boy, my kids are in their 20s already, and we're going to school for some event, for something that other people's kids, which she loved to do. And she helped a lot of kids doing it. And she stayed involved. And it all began years ago. For those of you who don't know, they wanted to close School 3 at the time. Now long closed, down in the 8th Ward. I ran for the Board of Ed at the time. Unfortunately, unlike my wife, I couldn't get elected. We were on a committee to keep the school open. That didn't work. My sons and my daughter eventually went to School 6. So she started getting involved in School 6 PTA treasurer, PTA president, sole PTA treasurer, PTA president. They went to Roseville Catholic Mothers Club president. And then so I talked her into, said, maybe you should run for the board. And she ran. She won. And she won. She won again. She won again. And so it would be Friday nights, it would be family science. There was a basketball game. At the basketball game, if there was a football game, she'd go to the football game. The theater, she was involved with all the theater arts, between the school and doing some of Mystic Vision players. She started the foundation. I know I did all the tax work to make it tax exempt for our children for our schools. She ran golf outings and theater plays to raise money, to give scholarships to the kids from Linden, because that's what she loved to do, is to help other kids. To help everybody, because all the kids deserved it. Her feeling was every kid needed, so she, remember cookies on a stick, we'd sell them, the cakes for whatever event. So, that was my wife. She loved to do. I appreciate the honor. She appreciates it. I know. Probably want to make sure the sign's big enough. And I want to thank the board. Thank everybody for coming. So, Mr. Rebecca, do you want to say anything?
John, if any of your family members want to say a few words, they're more than welcome.
Okay. Hi everyone, I'm Megan. First of all, I want to say thank you to everyone for this amazing honor. A few weeks ago, I had the honor of being at School 6 when they dedicated a lighthouse to my mom's name. And that's, for me, where it all started. I remember the first thing that she did was she would always question our principal and ask, why can't we do this? And that started a very long career of hers, in many ways, of pushing for kids. She got me a 5th grade dance. She got us to go to Medieval Times. Then we went to Washington, D.C. when she became president of Souls PTA. And it just kept going further and further and further. And that's really the testament of who my mom was. And she still does it. She still did it even to the day she died. You want to sing?
Hi, my name is Arabella, and Mima was a very special person, and I'm very sad she passed away, but I really miss her.
Katie? Go ahead.
I'm Mimi. I like playing green with watching us, and then she I don't think so.
Jack is busy entertaining everybody.
So Jack's not going to speak. Yeah, I brought that in tonight. Which, by the way, my mother would have been absolutely thrilled with. You know, many times, you need help. You need your parents to step in, help you watch the kids. And my mother, if I ever called my mother, she would always say, "Oh yeah, absolutely." And then I'd get a text from someone else, "Are your daughter is sitting on the dais at the board meeting tonight." she didn't quite mind. She really loved kids, and I'm very happy and thankful that her colleagues. And she considered you all, she considered you all friends. She loved to spend time with you. She spent a lot of time with you. She loved to fight with you. She really did. My mother had, she didn't have the greatest poker face when dealing with things. You generally knew where you stood with her on most things. But every now and then she'd try, and if she didn't like something, and if you brought it to her attention and said, "Sue, what do you think?" She might say something to the effect of, "Well, I'm not against that," and that was her polite way of saying no. But I think if she liked something, if she approved of it, she would just well, I would be okay with that. She would be okay with this. She'd be very proud. She'd be very thankful. She enjoyed the time she spent on the board. She enjoyed coming to the schools and with the educators, and we're very proud of everything she did. So thank you for this honor.
We are ready for the unveiling.
Someone's gonna step on it. Oh, you got it. Almost there. No, we need it.
Ray's waiting to be actually hysterical right now.
Mrs. Cochran said it.
Okay, at this time, the ceremony is concluded. We have some light refreshments on both sides if anybody wants to partake. And the board meeting will start in about a half hour. Thank you all for coming this evening.
Recording.
Okay, I call this meeting to order. Would everybody please rise for our salute and flag?
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Statement that notice.
In accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, Act of provided as follows. On January 12th and June 1st, 2017, notice was sent to the Home News Tribune, Star Ledger, local source, and the clerk of the municipality. By state weather restrictions will be permitted in this building at any time. In addition to the list of items in this agenda, this Board of Education may discuss and act upon other items not specifically referred to herein as is allowed at a regularly scheduled monthly board meeting under the Sunshine Law.
Okay, roll call, please.
Mrs. Bebiano? Present. Mrs. Birch? Present. Mr. Martucci?
Here.
Mrs. Slater? Present. Mr. Topolesky?
Here.
Mrs. Kalani? Present. Mr. Novak?
Here.
Mr. Alvarez?
Here.
Mr. Collins?
Here. Okay, may I ask for approval of minutes?
So,
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mrs. Bebiano?
Yes.
Mrs. Birch?
Yes.
Mr. Martucci?
Yes.
Mrs. Slater?
Yes.
Mr. Topolesky?
yes.
Mrs. Kalani?
Yes.
Mr. Wolrat?
Yes.
Mr. Alvarez?
Yes.
Mr. Collins?
Yes. We'll go into our reports. Do we have anything from the attorney? Okay, our superintendent.
Thank you, Mr. President. Earlier tonight, we had a really nice dedication ceremony. In March of this year, this board voted to name the high school auditorium in honor of Susan L. Hudak and her service to our district and community. Tonight, we formally dedicated this auditorium to her. It was really short, sweet. It was so nice to see all of Sue's family here. So many dignitaries who came out to pay their respects, and it was just a tribute to Sue that so many people came out for this event tonight because she touched so many lives. She did so much for this community, and I'm proud that this board recognized that, and forever her name will be enshrined on this auditorium. So let's give a round of applause for Sue. Last Friday, we had a high school graduation, and I want to congratulate the 434 seniors that graduated. It was really turned out to be a wonderful ceremony. The weather cooperated. Of the class of 2017, I'd just like to report out some statistics. 82% of those students will continue their education in either a 2-year or 4-year college or university. 3% plan on pursuing careers in the military. 8% plan to enter some other form of post-secondary training, and 7% of those will join the workforce. Our seniors have been accepted by more than 50 colleges and universities, biotechnical schools, business schools, all across this country and worldwide. So I just want to publicly acknowledge them, congratulate them one more time, and wish them the best of luck. And my report is short tonight, Mr. President. I just want to give the monthly HIV report. This month we had 12 incidents reported. 6 of those were validated as being HIV incidents, 4 were not, and 2 were undetermined. The actions taken include counseling, loss of recess, out-of-school suspension, increased monitoring, physical change, and office detention. And in all instances, the victims were counseled. That concludes my report.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Opetowski. At this time, we'll move into the reports, curriculum instruction. Ms. Viviana.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Curriculum and Instruction Committee, upon recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools and the Assistant Superintendent, present the following 37 motions to the Linden Board of Education for approval. Items 1 through 7 deal with the approval of specialized programs for the placement of classified students, determination of out-of-district placements, the approval of payments for related services, the approval of home instruction services, the approval of one-on-one paraprofessionals, and the approval of contracts for transportation. 8, 9, and 10 all approve the services of licensed professionals to conduct evaluations on students as part of the Child Study Team Assessments. Item 11 approves the team sports schedules for the 2017 fall season. 12 approves the dates for the conference tennis championships. 13 approves the dates for the athletic awards programs during the 2017-18 school year. 14, approves the dates for the Paul Blue Elementary Track and Field Meet. 15, authorizes the Linden Athletic Training staff to carry out the 2017-18 Linden Athletic Training Plan of Care. 16, amends board action on past C&I reports. 17, approves curriculum. 18, grants permission for use of facilities and school activities. 19, approves district field trips and amendments. Items 20, 21, and 22 approve training for district staff. 23 approves state and district testing dates. 24 approves EduSeer courses for 12th grade student graduation requirements. Item 25 approves the tuition agreement contract with the Union County Vocational Technical Schools for the 2017-18 school year. 26 approves Saturday school dates for the 2017-18 school year. Item 27 retroactively approves the closing of schools due to inclement weather. 28 grants approval for select middle and high school students to attend the Leadership Training Conference at TCNJ. Item 29 grants approval to enter into an amended agreement with the Union County Ed Services to provide Title I-A services to Linden non-public students. Item 30 grants approval to enter into the agreement with Essex County Ed Services to provide Title I-A services to students in the Union County Youth Detention Center. 31 approves the readoption of Title I District Parent Involvement Policy, the School-Based Parent Involvement Policy, and the Homeschool Compact for all Linden Title I schools. 32 grants approval to submit the 2018 Title I-D program plan to the NJDOE. 33 authorizes the submission of IDEA application for fiscal year 2018 to the NJDOE. 34 approves the submission of the security drill statement of assurance for the 2016-17 school year to the Union County Superintendent of Schools. 35 grants approval for the Family Center Community Development Corporation to conduct summer tutoring program for students at School 2. 36 approves the participation of the Linden Public Schools in the Future Ready Grant for New Jersey. And item 37 approves the superintendent's determination and actions taken for all reported incidents of harassment, intimidation, and bullying as discussed at the May 24, 2017 regular meeting. Mr. President, I move curriculum and instruction items 1 through 37 and respectfully ask for a second. Second.
Mrs. Fabiano?
Yes.
Mrs. Birch?
Yes.
Mr. Martucci?
Yes.
Ms. Slater?
Yes.
Mr. Topolesky?
Yes.
Mrs. Galani?
Yes.
Mr. Woolrab?
Yes.
Mr. Alvarez?
Yes.
Mr. Colbus?
Yes. We're moving on to management operation. Mr. Topolesky.
Thank you, Mr. President. Management Operations Committee, upon the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, present the following 61 items to the Board of Education for approval. Items 1 through 3 are the passing of former employees. Dr. Wilson.
Thank you, Mr. Topolesky. I'm very sorry to hear of the loss of Andrea Amabile and Francis Weidenburn. Andrea worked for the Linden Board of Education for 35 years, started her career in 1964 as a social studies teacher. Andrea taught at McManus, Seoul, and Linden High School. Francis Weidenburner worked for the Board of Ed for 25 years, started as a Class 1 secretary in the Health, Safety, and Phys Ed department, was later appointed the transportation clerk, and in 1981 became the coordinator of transportation. On behalf of the Linden Public Schools, we offer our most heartfelt sympathies to their families. Thank you, Mr. Topolesky. I apologize. How could I forget? We're very saddened to hear of the loss of Pat Evans. Pat worked for the Board of Ed for 23 years, and I had the opportunity to be her principal. She was one of the best teachers I've ever seen in my life, and Mr. Colbus, I know, was her principal, and I think he would agree with that and say the same thing. She spent her whole career at School 6. She was a fixture. So please forgive me for not mentioning her, but we offer our most heartfelt sympathies to our family during this time.
Item 4, retirements. Again, Dr. Robertosi.
Thank you, Mr. Topolesky. Stella Cardillo worked for the Linden Board of Ed for 25 years. She began her career as a secretary in the business department in 1991. Esther Payton started her career as a high school English teacher in 1986. She was the advisor for Learn and Serve America program, which began in 1994 and received national recognition, and was also the Youth for United Way founder and advisor. And Judy Winter began her career with the Linden Public Schools as a basic skills teacher at School 4 in 1991. In 2005, Judy was appointed as a LDTC for the district, and we just want to wish them all the best on their retirement, and also Judy Holland. This one we received late. Judy began her career as a resource teacher at School 8 in 2001, but she does have 25 years in as a teacher, and we wish Judy all the best. We wish all the best to these employees on their retirement. Thank you, Mr. Topolesky.
Thank you, Dr. Portillo. Item 5 is to approve the following resignations. Item 6 is to amend board actions on past management operations listed. Item 7 is to appoint the following staff for the 2017-18 school year. Item 8 is to approve the transfer of the following staff for the 17-18 school year effective September 1st, 2017. Item 9 is to approve the transfer of staff for 17-18 effective July 1st, 2017. Item 10 is to approve the following reassignments within the building for the 17-18 school year effective September 1st, 2017. Item 11 is to appoint the following staff for the Title III ESL Summer Tutorial Programs for 2017. Item 12 is to approve the transfer of the following staff for ESY 2017. Item 13 is approved transfer of following paraprofessionals for ESY 2017. Item 14 is to approve the following leaves of absence. 15 is to appoint the following staff for summer 2017 extended school year. Item 16 is to reappoint the following 12-month administrator for the 17-18 school year. Pay and conditions established per negotiated collective bargaining agreement. Item 17, pursuant to the provisions of Title 18A-28-10, reappoint and award an employment contract to the 10-month non-tenured certificated teaching staff members listed for the 17-18 school year. Pay, terms, and conditions established per the negotiated collective bargaining agreement. Item 18 is to reappoint the following non-tenured custodian for the 17-18 school year at the contractual rate. Items 19, 20, 21, and 60 are to reappoint the following staff for the 17-18 school year as per negotiated contract. Item 22 is to appoint the following department chairman for the, chairperson for the 2017-18 school year. Items 23 through 45, 47, 48, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, and 61 are to appoint this following certificated and non-certificated staff for various full-time, part-time, and extracurricular positions. Item 46 is to approve the following staff to work security before and after school events at Linden High School for the 17-18 school year at the contractual rate. 49 authorizes the collection donation of sick days to employee 11-1617 from staff members for the 16-17 school year. Name of staff member and number of days will be submitted to the superintendent. Item 50 is a motion to terminate the employment of an employee 3-1617. Employee shall be relieved of all duties during the 60-day notice period. Item 51, whereas the superintendent of schools has recommended that the employment and adjustment increment for employee 12-1617, whose name is on record in the office of superintendent of schools, be withheld for the school year of 2017-18, and whereas the board has considered the comments and statements and recommendations of the superintendent of schools, now therefore be resolved that the Board of Education hereby determines that the employment and adjustment increment of said employee be withheld for the 17-18 school year, and that said employee's salary for said school year be the same as it was for 2016-17. Be it further resolved, the board secretary notifies said employees in writing the board's action is taken, and be it further resolved that said employee be provided with a statement of reasons for the action taken. Item 52 is to approve the following job descriptions. Item 53 is a motion to change the job title of Phil Colicchio from athletic resource trainer / school disciplinarian to coordinator of intramurals and community resources, effective July 1, 2017. Item 59 is to approve staff listed to perform nursing duties during the August 2017 as established at the per diem rate. If there are no questions, I move management operations items 1 through 61 and respectfully seek a second.
Second.
Roll call.
Mrs. Fabiano?
Yes.
Mrs. Birch?
Yes.
Mr. Martucci?
Yes.
Mrs. Slater?
Yes.
Mr. Chapelesky?
Yes.
Mrs. Valani?
Yes.
Mr. Woolrath?
Yes.
Mr. Alvarez?
Yes.
Mr. Colobus?
Yes, however, I abstain on number 9. All right, we'll move on to support operations. Mr. Alvarez.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Support Operations Committee, upon recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools and the Business Administrator Board Secretary, presents the following motions to the Linden Board of Education for approval. In Finance, items 1 through 8 are the monthly board visits for approval. Items 9 through 12 are amendments to past board action. Items 13 to 19 are acceptance of funds. Item 20 is to accept the donation of a pink trumpet from Wendy Maldonado. Item 21 is to approve payments to environmental remediation management for water sampling as listed. Item 22 is to approve payment of Audio Inc. for high school graduation as listed. Item 23 is to approve payment to Parkland Solutions for online applications and annual subscriptions as listed. Item 24 is to approve payment to Vico's party rental for high school graduations as listed. Item 25 is to approve payment to Carol Smeltzer, Squire, for legal services rendered as listed. Item 26 to approve the renewal contract with Management Evaluation Services for 21st Century Grant as listed. Item 27 to approve the reappointment of Acrisure, Woodbridge, New Jersey as insurance broker of record for property liability, workers' compensation, and student accident services for the 2017-18 school year. Item 28 is a contract renewal with BGIA Woodbridge as broker of record for medical, dental, and prescription services for the 2017-18 year. Item 29 is to approve contract for employee benefits for the period of July 1st, 2017 to June 30th, 2018 as listed. Item 30 is to approve renewal contracts for property, liability, workers' compensation, and student accident insurance for the 2017 and 18 years listed. Item 31 is to approve the contract renewal with Linden High School band parents for the use of the concession stand at Cooper Field as listed. Item 32 is a renewal of annual support services license agreement with Systems 3000 in Eatontown, New Jersey as listed. Item 33 is the approval of contract with Rethink Autism Inc. New York as listed. Item 34 is the approval of the annual software support maintenance agreement with IEP Direct, New York as listed. Item 35 is the approval the annual renewal of yearly maintenance plan with Learning Ally Inc., Princeton, New Jersey as listed. Item 36 to 40 are the approval of professional services contract with the Union County Educational Service Commission for 2017-18 school year. Child study team services, non-public textbooks, special education tuition contracts. Item 41 is the approval of security systems contract with MAPI Security Group as listed. Item 42 is the approval of receipt or payment from the City of Linden of district's taxes. 43 is the approval of the statements pursuant to PL 2015, Chapter 47, regarding contract previously awarded by the Board of Education. Item 44 grants permission to the Business Administrator for Secretary to transfer unspent monies into the Capital Reserve account for future facility projects. Items 46 and 45 and 46 grants approval for Art Color School and New Road School not to charge students for reduced or paid meals in compliance with New Jersey Department of Agriculture Child Nutrition Program regulations. Item 47 is approval of quotes as listed. Item 48 seeks approval for the school bus emergency evacuation report for the 2016-17 school year. Item 49 grants approval to the City of Linden to use 2 Board of Education golf carts for the annual Halloween parade held on Sunday, October 29th, 2017. In facilities, items 1 is to approve a retroactive approval of facilities as listed. Item 2 is to amend board action taken at prior board meetings as listed. Item number 3 is to approve submission of a change in use in the Union County Superintendent of Schools for school number 5 as listed. Mr. President, I move items 1 through 49 in finance, And items 1, 2, 3, in facilities, respectfully, I ask for a second.
Second.
Roll call.
Mrs. Bebiano?
Yes.
Mrs. Birch?
Yes.
Mr. Martucci?
Yes.
Ms. Slater?
Yes.
Mr. Topolescu?
Yes.
Mrs. Valani?
Yes, with the exception of number 43, abstain.
Mr. Walrath?
Yes.
Mr. Alvarez?
Yes.
Mr. Colvin?
Yes. All right, we'll now move on to planning and policy. Mr. Walrat?
There's no report.
A report, okay. All right, now we'll go on to the special committee reports. Our state delegate, Ray Topolescu.
Yes, Mr. President, there's a few things to report. The first thing was, I think it was the end of May, I'm a little hazy on the date. There was a luncheon, actually breakfast and lunch with legislators down in Trenton at the War Memorial. There was a panel of 4 assemblymen who were asked questions by Dr. Feinsod in response to different education issues. The keynote speaker was Senator Sweeney, and they had a second panel dealing with funding. To that end, today I saw a report that was released about an agreement between the Senate, Assembly, and the Governor, which will be voted on tomorrow, which is slightly different than the initial funding bill that we received. The changes, the $100 million that was planned to be added was not changed. However, there is a reduction from other districts and a reapportionment of $31 million to what are considered underfunded districts, of which I believe we are one, in addition to our friend in Freehold Borough, Dr. Tomasic. So there's a lot. There were a number of districts that were up in arms. They had a lot of Facebook posts and stuff like that about stop Sweeney's theft or whatever, but for 8 years these schools were getting more money than they were supposed to, and now because it's being taken away, they're whining. So initially it was going to be 41 million, it was 46 million, it was reduced to 31 million. There's an additional 25 million which is being added to special ed services, and an additional 25 million to early childhood services. So that's supposed to be voted on by the legislature tomorrow, and the governor is supposed to sign it before Saturday.
And Mr. Topolescu and board members, if this plan does come through, it could mean an additional $2 million in state aid for our district. So some of that $2 million may be categorical aid, it may be designated for specific things like early childhood and pre-K, but that's $2 million that we should have had every year forever that we haven't been getting because the formula's never been fully funded.
The actual thing, in the initial proposal there was a breakdown of where the money would go, and we were going to receive in excess of $2 million. With the realignment, they didn't have the specifics for each district at that time, because the numbers had to be realigned, because obviously there were changes. So we'll see, but I can't imagine it changing much. That concludes my state report.
It's rarely that we get good news like this from the state. It's a wonderful thing. Okay, county delegate.
Well, there was a meeting on second Saturday in June, I think it was, of all county presidents and county officers down at the New Jersey School Boards in Trenton. Basically, it was a brainstorming session to develop ideas for our county meetings coming up. Later in July, I believe the second week in July, is a tentative date. I will be meeting with the county vice presidents and the member of Union County's executive board director, and Gwen Thornton, Ray Pinney, who's the county coordinator, and Patty Reese, who is the North Jersey County Coordinator at the school boards, to be setting up the different meetings, what will be the actual agendas of the meetings, and the dates of the meetings. So that'll be coming up in a couple weeks. If you have any ideas, if any of the board members have any ideas as to what they would like to see in terms of school board training for the county meetings, please let me know so that we can advance that. I can advance that when I meet, because we actually do set the agenda. I did it last year, and I thought it was quite successful. I mean, we even had a county meeting here at our new professional development building. So if you have any ideas of things you'd like to see, I have one running through my mind. I don't know how that's going to play, but I know the state offers a lot of services that we're not aware of. And I believe some of our software that we use now came out of one of those meetings where one of the vendors was present and presented software. I brought it back to Dr. Robertosi. He looked into it, and we changed. So those are things that are coming up. Again, if you have ideas, email me, let me know so I can present them when we have our meeting. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Popolevsky. The Educational Service Committee, I didn't go to one.
That was, it was on June 7th. It's their reorganizational meeting,
Right.
where Mr. Hollis was officially put in as our representative. You're welcome.
By whom?
The next meeting will be July 7th, and then they'll be off for August, so I will take the July meeting for you, and you can
I'll do the
pick back up
I'll do the September one.
in September. Oh, yes.
I'll do the order.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Thank you very much.
That concludes my report.
Okay, EST for parents, Mr. Burke.
Thank you, Mr. Valdez. The parent EST meeting was held June 7th at 6:30 p.m. at the Board of Education office. We had parents representing some of the following schools. We had one from School 1, one from School 2, 2 from School 5, 2 from School 6, 3 from School 9, 4 from McManus, and 1 from the high school. I'd like to thank Dr. Tardavita, Mr. Abel, and Mrs. Kowalski. They gave a presentation about our summer reading program, and they discussed what was new and exciting about it. The parents had a lot of opportunities to ask questions, and they gave out a lot of information. They gave out packets to the parents, and it just really showed them the whole program and what was new about it and what was exciting and what the kids are going to be looking forward to, and we're really excited about the new program. So that was the first half of our meeting. The next half we had some, there were still some issues with the school lunches, such as children not being able to get more than one helping at the farm fresh stands, and some cash money that was not being readily available when credited to the account. It was also brought to our attention that there were some extermination issues that needed to be addressed at some of the buildings, like LHS, McManus, School 5. There were some housekeeping restroom issues at some of the buildings also, many having broken soap dispensers, hand dryers that weren't working in some of the restrooms. Some of the stalls were not working. There was also a complaint about some ants in McManus. Some of the parents were concerned about teachers not updating Genesis on a daily basis or even a weekly basis. The parents are very concerned with their children's grades, and they'd like to see Genesis being updated daily if possible. The parents were asking that more friendly faces and Board of Education members would attend some of our EST meetings. They're also hoping that they would see more board members at some of our other activities. We had some positive feedback. School 5, Muffins for Mom, Fun Day, and School Dance. The school dance was held. The parents said they were great days, and they were looking forward to having the donuts for Dad. The parents loved the guest speakers that attended our meetings, our EST meetings. They said that they came well prepared and were ready to answer whatever questions were asked. and they're looking forward to even more next year. I'm happy to say that many of these issues have been addressed, others are being worked on, and at our next monthly meeting we'll discuss the issues more in depth. It was a great year with all of the parents that have attended our meetings, some that were there every month, and some new faces that came in month to month. I'm looking forward to meeting again with them in September and hoping that more parents will come out. That concludes my report.
Okay, EST for students at the high school.
Okay, EST for students. We had, that was held on June 13th at the library at the high school. We had 3 freshmen, 5 sophomores, 3 juniors, and 3 seniors that attended our meeting, as well as Ms. Lewis and Mr. Fakiti. There were still some housekeeping issues with bathrooms not working and some broken things in the restrooms, but I have to say at this meeting the kids were just so excited to talk about all of the great things that were going on in the district. They were so excited that the picnic went over. It was a success. They said that they saw pictures from the drone that was flying above them while they were having the picnic. They loved the food. There was a tire race. The cotton candy, they said, was phenomenal. But what the students didn't know was that the picnic was done entirely without fundraising. It was done with all of the support and staff from the administration here at the high school and the teachers. So once they found that out, they were wowed. They said it was very well planned, and they said that the committee did an amazing job. And they wanted me to let you know that the sophomores won the Penny Awards race. They're hoping that next year the picnic will grow and be even bigger and better. They were stressing about their final exams. They were also excited because prom was coming up. So they were excited. I'm sorry, prom had already passed. I'm sorry. They said the prom was beautiful. The venue was amazing. Just seeing everyone dressed and the atmosphere was just fabulous. So they were very happy about that. They said the color run was a success. The class of 2020 did an amazing job. They're also looking for more guest speakers at their meetings. And they're excited for the brand new spin room and the juicer that's going to be in the cafeteria for lunch from the Play 60 grant. Let's see. So I'm happy to say that, of course, many of these issues have been addressed and others are being worked on, and at our next monthly meeting we'll discuss any of the issues in depth. And it was an amazing year working with the students. They were awesome. Although they came with concerns, they always had lots of positive things that they were very excited to talk about. They felt that they had a voice and that their voice was being heard. I'll miss each and every one of the seniors leaving, and I'm looking forward to seeing the students again in September. I'd like to thank Mr. Fakiti and Mrs. Lewis for they were our advisors all year, and they helped plan the meetings and get the students to the meetings every day, every month. And I'd also like to thank Mrs. Horry for allowing us the opportunity to have the meetings and to discuss with us after all of the concerns and addressing what needed to be addressing and brainstorming with the children for bigger and better opportunities for our students. So that concludes my report. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. EST for students at the middle school? And none?
No, we got off to a shaky start. We had one meeting and then we had some conflicts and had to cancel. A second meeting was planned. We'll start off in earnest in September.
Sounds good. All right, EST for special education, Mr. Martucci?
Yes, there was no meeting this past June, but I do compliment Dr. Stefanik and her staff for the programs that were given out since I was on the board, since January through May. She brought a number of people up from the state and from the county levels on programs that are available to parents of special needs students that a number of the parents had no idea it was available. And what they did with them is that they gave them the information the contact people that they need that in order to help them with the problem they have. Because many of the problems were very complicated and very issue-oriented, and they were available to certain services through the state and to the county government they did not know. And hopefully next year, maybe we're talking about possibly doing that in a 3-month span and let many of the parents know on the areas which they are going to talk about so they can come to it and do understand it. Because it's very complicated, and there are so many services out there that are available to them that they are truly not aware of. And that is our game plan come next September.
Thank you, Mr. Martucci. At this time, do we have any unfinished business to be brought by the board? Okay.
Yeah. I would like to take this opportunity to thank Mrs. Gaylord and Mr. Miranda for the wonderful job that they did in fulfilling our wishes for how we wanted the name of Sue to appear outside. It was far beyond my expectations. Absolutely wonderful. I didn't, when you have these ideas, you don't know exactly what to expect, what's going to happen, and Kathy and Larry, you did just an absolute amazing job, and I appreciate the effort. Thank you very much.
Okay, any comments from the board? Any new business to be brought up? Okay, thank you for coming this evening, and I'll now ask for somebody to make a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Roll.
Mrs. Fabiano? Yes. Mrs. Birch?
Yes.
Mr. Martucci?
Yes.
Mrs. Slater?
Yes.
Mr. Topolescu?
Yes.
Mrs. Valani?
Yes.
Mr. Wilram?
Yes.
Mr. Alvarez?
Yes.
Mr. Collins?
Yes.